welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I hope you have all had a great Christmas. I've had a few days off from my channel to spend that with some family, and it has been great. To kick things off today, we have got some Barriss Zeta. So I want to show you the capability of what Barriss brings to a team, and I tell you what, it is something definitely to be scary of. She works very well, and she fits in perfectly with this crit meta. She's going to heal the team every time they receive a crit, and that's what her Zeta does, but I'm going to give you the full ins and outs and details on that Zeta right now. Her full unique is called Swift Recovery. At the end of each of her turns, Barriss dispels all debuffs from the debuffed ally with the lowest health and gains 10% turn meter for each effect removed. Whenever an ally is critically hit, that ally recovers 20% of their max health and gains 10% turn meter. The Barriss that we are looking at today is on the opposite team, so we're going to throw in some teams. I've got about 3 or 4 battles where we're going to be attacking with different teams, different setups versus this Barriss, and I tell you what, she makes this team a complete beast. It's very difficult, and Fives is like a Super Saiyan. Like any Zeta, there's always going to be good and bads on them, but Barriss is very good. The bad about it is that she's not going to be able to run in every single team. So for example, if you put her in a Wigs team, she's going to be quite useless because they don't have much HP, and it all depends on the defense of the character, so they can reduce that incoming attack. She can definitely be used without a General Kenobi lead. I have fought one of these in Galactic War and it still works. Isn't as well, but General Kenobi lead is definitely the icing on the cake to take it to that next level. Let's have a look at General Kenobi's leadership ability and what he brings to this sort of setup. So Jedi and clone allies gain 30% max health and plus 70% defense. So if you imagine Fives is one or the highest person in the game that has the highest defense, so he reduces the attack of the crits and normal damage in by a certain percent. Then you're going to be adding a General Kenobi lead where it's going to give an extra 70% defense. Even mods themselves do not give an extra 70% defense. Then you're adding that extra 30% max health from that leadership as well, so that's giving Fives a lot of HP. Then you can add some health mods onto that. Remember those health mods you don't really use that much? Well, guess what, guys? You can use them on Fives now because this will benefit him to the core. Let's continue with the leadership ability. So after a Jedi ally uses a team healing special ability, all other allies at full health are called to assist, dealing 50% less damage. So this is going to definitely benefit Barriss when she's in the team, and it's also going to benefit any other Jedi healers that you're using. It would be Ayla Secura. I don't think Snips, that's Ahsoka, would fit very well in this sort of team lineup. Fives is also able to taunt whenever he uses his special ability, so it's going to be making him a counter-attacking taunter. So that's General Kenobi's leadership ability, but he also has a unique that it benefits the entire team, and that is called Soresu. So what his unique does at the end of each of his turns, General Kenobi has a 65% chance to gain foresight for 2 turns whenever another ally is critically hit. If General Kenobi is alive, they gain crit immunity for 1 turn, and General Kenobi gains taunt for 1 turn. This unique combined with Fives and Barriss Zeta is deadly annoying. It's very difficult to 1, kill the enemy. When you do crit them, they're going to heal, then they're going to gain crit immunity for 1 turn. It can be chaos to the point that all my battles have nearly either timed out or I've been beaten by Fives counter. So we've gone over the perks of the team and what the team's going to get benefits from having certain characters in the team. And just to confirm to anybody that's wondering, killing Barriss will not stop this heal. It will continue like a leadership. But Barriss is definitely a major threat. Once ever in this game, maybe before they nerfed her, when the game first come out, she is a threat in this team that she needs to have the priority of being taken down as one of the first. So in the scenario, you go after Fives first because overall he is the one that is going to hold this squad together with his HP, his high defense, and also he's going to heal from that crit that you're providing to him. So you're going to feeding him health every time you crit, so Wedge and Biggs are not going to work versus Fives. So let's say you use Emperor Palpatine Shock or you use a heal immunity on 5s. Once you do crit, General Kenobi then is going to provide crit immunity buff, and then he's also going to taunt, so you definitely have to kind of start changing your team from the get-go and try and get some buff immunity. But once you start dropping some health of the 5s, Barriss is going to step in because she's going to get 10% turn meter every time you do crit on him, and if you wasn't critting, when she does get her turn, she is then going to cleanse all them debuffs on 5s, and it's going to put you pretty much back to square one. And then with the fact that she could heal as well, it is definitely one big crazy setup. Even without General Kenobi present, this duo does work very, very well. Because 5s has this high defense, it works wonders with Barris Zeta. Zeta Barris will not work on characters that have low HP. They may get a little bit of a heal, but they will not get that constant heal. Like you can see in this video, that any crit that 5s get, he is healing. He doesn't take much damage from a wig setup, so it doesn't really do much but heal him. What I'm showing you on screen, and if you have been paying attention, you can see 5s is the MVP under this Zeta. And the best of all, the leadership of General Kenobi does not require any Zeta possible. It is pretty much Barriss. Then you've got Ayla Secura in there as well. You've got B2 to cleanse the enemy team. It is definitely, without a doubt, a very, very overpowered in one way, but super strong on the defense. So if you are looking for a team that's going to hold you defensively, people will not want to attack this setup. I don't want to personally attack it. It means I have to change my entire squad. I'm going to have to put characters that have heal immunity galore to beat this sort of team. Then maybe if I used a Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta, that would work, but this team itself is strong. And best of all, Barriss can be used in Galactic War with 5s. You could even use this setup for the AAT raid. So this definitely, to me, is a wonderful Zeta for Barriss. It makes her very, very viable. And best of all, she isn't too difficult to farm, and neither is 5s. 5s is very easy to get from the Cantina shipments, so it does make this duo a lot easier than getting other duos out there. This brings me back to the videos that I made previously about obtaining Zetas, where on paper Qui-Gon Jinn looked awesome. He is better and much better with General Kenobi in the team, but this is where you need to farm them correctly. There is two ways you can do that. My way would be to get your ships, because you're going to benefit one side of the game with those ships, that you're able to be then competitive in the ship arena. So if any future raids or any other content comes out that requires certain ships, you have them. And best of all, you can work towards unlocking Zetas. They're not the best drop, but it's better that you've got these ships that you can then farm both. You're in a position where not only in the arena are you going to get great daily amounts from them, you're going to climb up the ladder, but you're also going to be able to get it from the Zeta challenge. And then if you decided at that point that you wanted to then go off and then buy the Zetas, then that, in my opinion, is the correct way to do this. It can take longer, but if you do it the other way around, and the other way, when I'm speaking of the other way, is just buying them purely, you could start with your rank being high, but when you start neglecting your ships, others will still be progressing their ships, because not everybody will be using the same tactic as that, and then you're going to drop, you're going to get less than those Zetas. Could turn from originally would be a month to get them, could take 2 to 3 months, and by the time that happens, you could put it onto a character that is non-relevant, and new Zeta could come out into the game and just completely change it. Nobody knew, nobody seen that this Barriss, there may have been a few out there that could see this happening, but definitely look at this now. We're on screen, we've got Barriss left, we've got 5s left. Look at the timer, what we got. 35 seconds. I have not in a long time, since mods come out. I believe it was when the protection actually, where battles timed out and they speeded up the animations so you wouldn't time out. And look at this right now, there's Barriss still alive, she's able to heal. It is difficult, as you can see, my wedge and bigs do not hit hard versus 5s one bit. There is always going to be another great Zeta, and there will always be ones added to the game, so you're always best to save them. Choose wisely what benefit your squad. If you don't have 5s, then Barriss might not be the option for you, but if you do have 5s, definitely go in to consider that. But thank you very much for watching today, and if you have enjoyed this video, then please remember to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, then please definitely feel free to, and check out my other videos. Like always, I'm the Smithy D. May the Force be with you, always.